Hey guys, Corrie here with a YouTube video for HipKit on their HipKit YouTube channel. It's Sketch Friday. This is today's sketch. You guys make sure you go over to the Facebook page and you can grab a copy of it for yourself so that you can kind of reference it more than just that little intro. But I'm doing this sketch, and when looking at it, I was like, this would be a great sketch for some hidden journaling. And since I really wanted to I had these photos of my daughters from last year at Christmas, I figured I would go ahead and put the journaling back behind the pictures so that it wouldn't take up quite so much room on the page. So that's what I'm doing. So the whole page is going to start just with this hidden journaling. So I drew some lines on the page because I wanted to have some lines. They are not all equally spaced, guys. That is not something that actually matters to me at all, especially when it's hidden. Honestly, hidden journaling, typically I don't even put lines, but I was like, this time I want them, and so whatever. So I'm doing my whole story, and the other thing about this is, I didn't even know how many lines it was going to take. I was hoping that I was going to have enough space. I do end up adding in some lines, though, because apparently what I needed to say took up more space than what I had originally thought, which is totally fine. But I'm just going to go in and add a few more lines, and get the rest of my story down. So the whole story is about these bags that we do. They're super fun, and we do them every single year. They were in my December documented album a couple of years ago, and I'm sure they'll be in it again this year because it's a big part of our Christmas traditions. It's actually, I usually ask the girls what their favorite Christmas tradition is that we do here, and this is always someone, the Christmas bags. But basically, we just take shopping bags and we decorate them. You have to put your name on them, and that's where Santa Claus puts all your stocking stuff. So the stockings that we hang on the mantle are really just they're just for decoration, and the bags are actually what we use, and then afterwards they can haul their stuff back to their room in them, and then eventually the bags get thrown away. So anyhow, that's the story there. But now that I got my story on my background, I am going to make just kind of like a little flap that the journaling is going to go under. So I messed it up the first time. So second time I'm going back in and putting this on there. So I've got this. I know about how big I want it. I'm going to trim that up. And then what's really great is then basically my decorations, my embellishments and stuff will go on top of this, which I think is actually pretty cool. The date for this page was December 24th of 2018. I was actually looking through my albums, and because I don't want to scrapbook the same picture over again, and I was looking back from 2018, and the only photo that I had scrapbooked from Christmas of 2018, before this last couple of pages, this page and the one right before this, was two of them that when they saw Santa Claus. That literally was the only page. I was like, wow, I really kind of just dropped the ball on Christmas pages last year. So I'm happy that I'm going to get last year's Christmas all kind of scrapbooked, because I didn't do a December documented last year, which I am doing it this year. So probably all of that stuff will just go in that album instead of all these pages. But this is pretty good. So I'm getting all of 2018 now scrapbooked with the awesome November hip kits. So it's all really working out, and I didn't, wasn't really planning for it that way. So anyhow, okay, back to the page. So I wanted to add some color because, I never want to just open it up and have it just be white, because that gets kind of boring. So I did use the color kit from November to add some pink to the back of the page, and then also, and it was actually what was just left over from the page that I did last week for the sketch challenge. So it was just on palette paper. It dried, add a little bit of water, and boom, all of a sudden it was reactivated. I was able to use it again, which is the greatest thing about these, the Lindy's magical shakers that we get in the color kits, is that you can just kind of keep using it. So that's really great. So once that was all dry, I am going to just start embellishing. Now the page to me was just a little bit too pink. I decided I needed to pull some green in there, so I did find this cool Christmas tree paper, and I'm just going to use a couple of strips on there. So I'm trying to get this all dry so that I can start putting it all together. I do go ahead and just distress the edges of that paper just a little bit, I love doing that. It makes it, just gives it a little bit of extra coolness or dimension, texture, whatever you want to call it. I just think it makes it look cool. So, and then I'm going to get this little strip of green and put it right at the top. I'm using just liquid adhesive to get it all down. I decided not to use my hot glue gun for this one, probably because I was just being lazy, but this glue worked really well, so I'm not overly concerned. But I'm going to just go ahead and get this all done. So the other thing that I really wanted to use with this whole page was these die cuts that came in the November kit, that are all of like the poinsettias and the greenery and different things like that. It was something where when I was looking through it, they were really pretty, and I just felt like they needed to kind of like shine a little bit and not be mixed up with too many other things. These are also the kind of pieces that I see other people using all the time that I'm like, oh my gosh, that's so gorgeous and I absolutely love it, but I feel like I struggle myself with it. So I kind of was like, you know what, I've got to figure out how to use these, and they're going to be great for this because in my photos, behind each one of the girls is the Christmas tree. So I just felt like this was the perfect page to put all of this greenery and stuff on. Plus it was going to pull in more of the green and then obviously red for all the other things. So I'm just going around and I'm layering all these little pieces around my photographs. I'm using adhesive for some and foam dots for some to pop them up, and just layering them all over the place to kind of frame out the photographs. So that's really, I'm just going to keep working on that. Right under here, there was no rhyme or reason to why I felt like this little piece of red needed to be down there, but I just felt like it did. And actually it sets off my title eventually, which I'm really happy with that way how it came out. So I love doing hidden journaling. I feel like I haven't done one in quite a while, but doing this page, I was just like, gosh, why am I not doing this more often? Because, sometimes like the story, like I want to have a story on the page, okay? But I don't want it always to be like, boom, here's the story all over the page. Sometimes because I used to never have a story on the page, which now I kind of regret, but I loved being able to decorate the page. So there's something to be said about that. Wanting to have the story on the page, or wanting to have the story, so I actually know why I scrapbooked the page, why I felt like the photographs were important, now to me is very important. But I still have that decorating type of thing that I want to have. So the hidden journaling works perfectly. You just look at the page this way and you're like, oh, it's a page. It looks great, whether there is journaling on it or not. But then I can pretty much say everything and anything that I want and have it be covered up by the photographs. I wrote on the outside of the albums that they should always pull the page out and kind of look at it. So in case someday they're out there looking and wanting to know what's going on, they should pull the pages out and kind of like look and see where the journaling is. So that's all good. Now, on a side note, as I'm working on this page, apparently my camera turned off and I ended up not filming this whole big chunk. So here it is at the end. I can't believe that happened and I'm so sorry, but it was really just more embellishing, and I'm going to show you everything now. I did end up embellishing some underneath in that flap as well. So there you go. And then here's the page completely finished. And a few little details. And guys, please head over to the Facebook page. Check out the sketch, play along. It's $10 to the shop if you are chosen as the winner. And quite honestly, it's super fun to have a great little jumping off point to do your pages. Otherwise, thanks for stopping by.